Hello Taurus, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and this is your October horoscope for 2021. And just a reminder that this is the year that the ancestor and everybody's, walked through those birch trees, listening to their own universal beat and being dedicated on their path. You started this year off with the Archer, setting your sights to the goals that you had in January. In February, there was some hooded man action where you did some self-reflection, some contemplation, right? Within, you looked within, to see where you're at. March was a struggle for you with the Eight of Arrows. And then in April, you almost hit the jackpot, that Six of Bows and that abundance. All right, you figured out where, for Taurus, that materialism, security, stability, where all that abundance is at for you. And then, as a result, in May, there was some jealousy going on. Maybe somebody was jealous of you, hopefully, and putting blessings on you. But if you were jealous, there was no need to be jealous, because the way this year is going for you, you're setting your sights on your goals. It's all about a step up. And that was evident in June with the Queen of Stones and the Bear, asking you, where do you need to preserve what you have, right? Almost, gathering up those resources from that Six of Bows so you can survive it in coming months. In July, you had to face your fears with the Guardian. August, there was a decision to be made. That was the theme, okay? And in September was all about being strong. And, this year, at the second half of this year, it's represented by, the life lessons cards, facing your fears and being strong, the strengths. So let's see what October brings for you, Taurus, for 2021. And I'll do the same thing I've done in the previous months. I'll take a card for this month, and then we'll look at each week and then tie it all in. All right. So this month's theme is going to be the Seer. Okay. Now the Seer is another life lessons card that you have down here. So this is looking into those waters. This is looking into, the feminine aspect of the shaman, where the shaman's all about manifestation. The Seer is all about nurturing, okay? Bringing that abundance, forward to you. It's understanding that, there's more to life than just walking the path. There's understanding the path. There's taking aspects in with that path that, you're taking everything in. Okay, the Seer kind of gives you the, wants you to look at the riddles of what life has to offer you. Okay, it's saying that, the grass may be green today, but how are you going to keep it green tomorrow? Just because it's green here doesn't mean it's going to be green on the other side of the sidewalk, right? And it's taking that opportunity to look at your life and saying, you know what? Last month I was strong. I've had that strength and courage to get me through. Okay. Now I have to look at those life lesson challenges to say, how do I accept this riddle of staying strong but yet feeling vulnerable, right? And that's what their Seer comes in, and she's walking this path with you. You made that decision back in August, okay, and she's validating that decision by saying, you know what? We're going to get you through this, but you have to heed the messages that are coming forward. So let's see what the first week of October looks like for you. And the card that comes out is about balance. Okay, so, here you've got the Seer and a balance card. The Seers, want you to listen to the riddles, but yet balance is saying, you know what? You need to get that work-life balance back. You need to get that balance back in your relationships. You need to get that balance back in your work situation. Okay, you need to get that balance back with your social situation. And yet, you also have to be balanced with nature. And the Seer's pointing that out. The Seer's pointing that out, saying, you know what? Take your feet and walk through the grass. in the bare feet. Enjoy the fall weather that we have coming on. You know, go hug a tree like the serpents are here with the balance. And bring yourself back into that balanced nature. It's okay to be work, and go. But at the same time, we need to find that balance within our life, with our family, with our friends, with nature. The second week of October is going to be represented by the Ace of Bows in the Spark of Life. Okay, and aces are new beginnings. So here you found that balance in the first week. And now you've got a new opportunity of creativity. You got a new opportunity of action, right? And maybe something that the seer said to you, that whispered to you, you know, or you listened to the birds in the air, gave you that inspiration, gave you that motivation, and inspired you to take an idea to your boss, all right? To hopefully make that grass greener on the other side. Aces are new beginnings, and bows fire energy, bows action energy. Okay, bows is all about putting that action plan into place, and that'll happen during that second week of October. The third week, wow, another life lessons card is represented by the journey. Okay, where there's death, there's life. Where there's barren, there's abundance. The journey to me represents the opportunity to let things go that don't serve you so you can move forward, right? Piggyback off of an idea that somebody else had that maybe they're not going to see move forward anymore. Okay? The knowing and unknowing aspect of the seer. 3 life lessons cards. You got the balance, and the journey. Taking that opportunity to listen to the seer and move forward on your journey moving forward. To look at what's dead and not being used anymore. To revitalize it. To let that, re-energize yourself. To whether, what's coming to mind right now is what? I'm well versed in this one topic. I'm going to go back, even though that I've done the best that I can. I'm going to go back and learn some more. I'm going to go back and, possibly, let me try to rejuvenate this. Okay, based on the that spark of life that you had last week. This isn't working. We need to figure out a new way of doing things, and that's where this journey comes in. Whether that's a work situation, a relationship, a social setting. Okay, it's listening to what the seer and that intuition and that guidance that she has for you. And in the fourth week, Taurus is going to be represented by the Page of Bows and a stoat. Okay. Now the stoat with bows, you've got 2 bows down here. Pages are messengers. They like to learn. All right, and this one is asking you pretty much who's offering you an opportunity. Maybe that seer's offering you an opportunity, Taurus. An opportunity to learn something. An opportunity to communicate in such a way that your message comes across that helps create balance amongst your organization or your family. That opportunity to put an action plan in place. That opportunity to, look at a situation and realize that it's no longer alive, but maybe doing something to pump some energy into it, right? He's also asking you, how would things change if you engaged with this? You know, how would life this month change if you engaged with listening to your intuition and listening to those messages that are out there, listening to the riddles? How would this month change if you became balanced during that first week, or you came up with that action plan during that second week? What would life look like if you engaged with feeding off something that was dead and bringing it back to life? What would that look like? That's kind of a riddle that the seer would ask, you know? It's like, you know, having that green lawn all spring, and then all of a sudden during the summertime, you know, it dies off because what'd you do? You didn't water it. You didn't give it any seed, you know, any fertilizer. And then once you put the fertilizer down, you know, it comes back. And then you have that green lawn again. That's kind of like how that seer works. That's kind of how that journey works, right? Bringing something back to life. How do you do that? How do you learn that? How do you transfer that learning into action? That's what that page of bows is talking about. The stoat. So there you have it, Taurus. That's the card of the month. The theme. It's all around the seer. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel and share it with others. This is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you in November. Take care, God bless, and stay safe.